Hi, welcome back to misformeeple. My name's Mitch.
And I'm Morgan, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about our top 10 summer-themed games. Okay, so we know that summer is almost over. Kids are back to school, but technically, summer isn't officially over until September 22nd when fall begins. So if you're like us, you're a little bit bummed that summer is almost over. So we thought it would be fun to share some of our favorite summer-themed games with you. Just kind of hold on to that summer feeling just a little bit longer, even though we still have 3 more weeks. So these games are in no particular order, but we can just go ahead and start. So I guess I will go first.
Oh, starting with that one.
Yeah, so the first game on our summer-themed games list is Santa Monica, published by AEG. This game is one of my favorite games of all time. I love the pastel colors. It's gorgeous. It's very thematic. You are building a boardwalk in Santa Monica. Everyone starts with a hotel, and you're playing like beach cards or boardwalk cards in order to score points. It's a card drafting.
Card drafting tableau builder.
Yeah, card drafting tableau builder. I love tableau builders. Yeah, it is summer in a box. This game makes me so happy. It makes you feel like you're on the beach. It's great. You're moving these little like tourists and locals and VIP people around on your boardwalk to score points. And it's just an all-around fantastic game.
Yeah, and it's got some variety to it. You know, you get different scoring conditions each game, so it keeps it fresh.
A lot of combos, or a lot of your cards trigger off one another, so I really like that. It's a good game for like intro gamers, I would say, but there's enough there for experienced gamers to enjoy as well. So that is Santa Monica by AEG.
Next game, Sundae Split by Renegade Games and Foxtrot Games. I think they dual publish games based on like language. I don't know, but Sundae Split is like I split you choose. Is that the right terminology?
I split you choose.
So I thought Sundae Split was kind of like punny into the mechanic as well.
Oh, because Sundae Split.
Yeah, Sundae Split and I split you choose. So in Sundae Split, you're building your own sundaes by picking piles after someone has divided them up, either putting the cards face up or face down, of chocolate, vanilla, strawberry, ice cream, and you're just trying to get those sets to score points. And you can get sets of whipped cream and sprinkles, score extra points. If you get the most bananas, you get 10 points. Second most gets 5. To where it's very light. You know, who doesn't like enjoying ice cream on a hot summer day? To where it's a filler game too, I would say, because it plays very fast.
Yeah, it plays in about 15 to 20 minutes.
Yeah, you're just, doing the sets of cards until the deck runs out, and it's quick. I actually really like this game. I liked it better than our other I Split You Choose game. I liked it better than New York Slice. Yeah.
Yeah. It is, like, if you're familiar with New York Slice or Sushi Go Party, it's kind of like a mix between those games because you got a lot of set collection, and then you have that added element of one person is splitting the piles. And it's always a conundrum, like, oh, do I put the good cards that score a lot of points face down, or do I put the vegetables nobody wants face down?
Oh yeah, vegetables score negative points. No one wants vegetables with their ice cream.
So it's always like you're trying to decide when you're choosing a pile, like, did they put the bad cards face down, or are they trying to hide because the person splitting chooses last? So you see
they get whatever's left.
Yeah, so. you look at all the cards, and you're trying to like put the cards that you want in a different pile, but you never know what people are going to select because you get to choose last.
You got to make like a pile enticing for someone, so that way they leave you the pile that you want.
Yeah.
So it's fantastic. I really enjoyed it. Lighthearted, super summer themed ice cream. So
yeah, that's Sundae Split.
Sundae Split. On to the next one.
Yeah. All right, next game on our list is New York Zoo, designed by Uwe Rosenberg and published by Capstone Games. New York Zoo is a fun polyomino game where you are building exhibits in your board and you're breeding zoo animals, and the first person to can fill up their board completely. Is that when they win, when you build up your board completely?
I don't recall. I believe you get points if you fill it up.
I think that's just
completely.
game
Yeah,
ending.
I think that triggers end game.
Okay. So it's a polyomino game where you are placing enclosures into your zoo, breeding zoo animals. The first person to fill up their board ends the game, and then everyone tallies up their points. This game has super cute little animeeples. They have foxes, penguins, meerkats, and flamingos, and kangaroos. It's really cute. You're just going around this zoo board collecting different polyomino habitat tiles to fill up your board. And the zoo in the summer is perfect. Like, that's the best time to go to the zoo. I love the colors on the game. Again, very like pastel-y colors. And it's really fun to just build your little zoo board and play with the meeples. I would like to get stickers for this one for the animals. I think that would be really cute. But yes, that is New York Zoo.
New York Zoo. Next on the summer themed list, Longboard by 25th Century, and it's our only Reiner Knizia game. The Longboard is a fantastic game where you are picking up longboards pieces to build out your supply, and then you're shaping your supply into boards that your store is going to sell or score points. And you can also kind of, not necessarily trade, but you can swap boards from your supply for ones in your opponent's supply to try and match sets to where you're trying to build the longest longboard or have the most shaped longboards while trying to complete 4 different objectives. 4 different objectives could be like have the most wild, have the longest yellow. So once you score those objectives, you score the stickers that are on your longboards. And it's got the longboards have values in them that have to go in ascending order when you're placing them on top of each other. To where once your supply gets to a certain point, you might have high value cards that you can easily swap out with what your opponent has. And then, because if you get a 1 or a 2, I'm all over the place here, but if you get a 1 or a 2, you're going to want to start your board with a 1 or a 2 valued longboard piece. Because then you could just stack any number above those.
Yeah, it's always really tricky because if you draw a card and it's like a 3, you're like, oh man, do I put this in my supply? If it's in the supply, it's at risk of being taken by the other opponents. Or do I just immediately play it? And then usually when you immediately play it, the next card you draw is like a 1 or a 2, and you can't go back down. You always have to go higher than your last longboard that you played. So it's really tricky. Like, do I play this now? Or do I hold on to it and hope that nobody takes it from my supply? So it's really fun. I really enjoyed it. Mitch did beat me at this one. I did,
because I ended the game as soon as I could.
Yeah, that's another thing. Once you have, 4 longboards that can score?
4 longboards completed and one of at least 7 cards.
Then you're allowed to end the game. And I could have ended the game, 3 or 4 turns
I got 2 more turns, I think.
Yeah. And then you can end it, and then everyone scores up your points. So you kind of have to decide when you want to stop to kind of force other people to stop.
I ended it as soon as I could.
This game just came out. I think it's still on pre-order. I
thought you could order it from their website, I thought.
I think it's available at 25th Century, but I think other websites still have it as a pre-order. We picked this one up at Origins. It is super fun, just a really nice little beachy filler.
Maybe we got to check out more Reiner Knizia now.
I heard really good things about his games. I think.
Right? That is our only one?
I believe so.
You always hear the name, but it's first time
let us know what your favorite Reiner Knizia game is down and below, and maybe we'll have to check out some of them.
Yeah, but I really like this.
Yeah, the colors are really nice. I like that the objective cards can be different every time, so it's not like you're playing the same game. You're always trying to go for a different strategy. But
the only thing I didn't like is the yellow boards look orange.
Yes, they're called yellow, and they're clearly orange. They're very orange, but all of the objective cards refer to them as yellow. So that was like the only really nitpicky thing that we have.
Only nitpicky thing. Super simple.
Plays really quick, 20 to 30 minutes. Yeah, it's great.
That's it. Longboard.
Next on our list is Twin Palms, published by Blink Inc. Twin Palms is another game that just came out. I believe it is available for purchase now. I had mine on pre-order. This game is also on BGA.
Okay, I was going to say, yeah, wasn't it on BGA?
Yeah,
I thought that's where we played it first.
On
yeah.
BGA, but I did pre-order it as well, so our copy physically just arrived. Twin Palms is a trick-taking game for 2 to 5 players. Very quick, takes about 30 minutes to play. I really liked it because you are always playing 2 cards at a time.
Yeah, always trying to make a pair.
Yeah, you're always trying to make a pair, and it's really interesting because you have 2 colors. You have green, or you have two suits. I'm sorry. You have dolphins and palm trees, and there's kind of like a hierarchy of how like the cards score. I can't remember off the top of my head, but it's like dolphins are worth more. If you have 2 dolphins and then 2 palm trees is like the next thing. But then it goes to numbers too. So if you play like a really high palm tree, like you're going to win the trick.
Yeah.
And then if you have like sets of cards, like that's like the next thing. Like if you have 1 dolphin, 1 palm.
Yeah, like if you have a 7 that is both dolphins, that'll be better than 2 7s that are palms.
Right, or if you have 2 7s that a 7 dolphin and a 7 palm, that's still higher than 2 different cards of different suits.
Exactly, yeah.
Really, really fun game. It plays really well on BGA. Very beachy. All the cards have all the cards are like towels, and there's people laying out on the towels.
Yeah, the artwork's very nice.
Yeah, so you're playing, your cards are towels.
I
great.
Genuinely don't like trick-taking games. Like, Crew wasn't for me, Wizard, maybe
I like the Wizard because I like the betting element.
I'm so bad at the betting element. This does have a betting element to it.
Oh, yeah. You can bet in this, too.
Right, but I feel like in this one it was just a little bit more obvious on, like, at least to me, how I should be betting based on the cards in my hand. Because there wasn't... I don't believe there's anything that's like, oh, this is a trump. This is going to win no matter what. Unless
no,
it's
there's
like,
no trump suits in this.
Yeah, to where, like, I feel like removing that, this is probably the only trick-taking game I like.
Yeah, so if you're familiar with Wizard or Skull King, you do bid ahead of time based on the cards in your hand, how many tricks you think you're going to win. So it does have that element in it, which is really fun, because you know, like, okay, I need to try to win, like, 3 tricks. And I think you have a hand of 10 cards. So out of those 10 cards, you're deciding which 2 you're going to play each round. So it kind of leaves you with more, I'm trying to think, like strategy. Like, okay, well, I know I need to play this and this in order to win this trick. And if you win a trick, you go last or do you go last or first when you win a trick? I think you go first.
Yeah, I think you go first.
Yeah, so if you win a trick, you get to go first. So you don't have the benefit of knowing what your opponent is putting out.
You don't know what's going to be beating you.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think at 2 players, that's really interesting because, like, if Mitch wins a trick, he goes first, and I'm like, okay, he played those 2. I know I have to play this card and this card in order to beat his, and then that'll be one of the tricks that I have to win. But
sometimes it's better to just throw out a trick so that way you llose, and then you can go second.
But then if you win a trick, you have to go first, and you're like, oh man, I definitely need to win this one. I'm going to go real high, but then if, you don't have the highest...
Pull out my 8s.
You can still lose. So it's a really interesting trick-taking game. It's very beachy, very fun. Again, the colors are very bright and vibrant. Yeah, we really enjoyed it.
Should mean a lot that it's the only trick-taking game that I'll, I'll come back to, that I'll play.
You didn't mind Wizard. I think you like that betting element.
Wizard was all right. I wasn't good at it. I just don't like trump things, to where it's like, oh yeah, like there's,
that can be frustrating if you play like a king or an ace and then somebody trumps it and you're like, oh, well, that was my high card.
Right.
Yeah. This game doesn't have that. No trump suits. But yeah, very, very fun. Twin Palms.
We've talked about it before. Hellapagos by Gigamike. Fantastic, party game. I think is that the one we talked about it before in our party games?
Yeah, it plays up to 12 people.
You and all the players are stranded on an island, and it's semi-cooperative until resources start getting low, and you either got to start killing people or you're choosing them by vote of who's not going to eat that night, and then they starve to death. It gets very take that very quick. because you are collectively trying to scrounge for resources and build rafts to get off the island before a hurricane comes. I'm not going to talk about it too much because, like I said, we've talked about it before.
Yeah.
But it's just so thematic, being stranded on a beach and scavenging for the resources, going for extra cards by searching the shipwreck, which will give you mean cards like a gun or bullets to shoot people.
But it could also give you useful stuff like a
say,
fishing rod or
yeah.
an axe to gather more wood or collect more fish.
Yeah. Definitely, if you look into this game, look into the expansion. I don't remember what the expansion's called.
I think it's called They're Not Alone. It just adds asymmetrical player powers.
Right. So
for
at
all
the start, start of the game, you just get like one unique thing your character can do. Like there's one character who's I think just good at fishing. They were a sailor.
Right. So if you give that player the fishing rod, it like makes it super easy to find food.
The nosy neighbor, who the player on their left or right, if they ever search the shipwreck, they get to look over and see the card.
Yeah, so, you definitely got to get the expansion for this one. It adds so much. It also adds event cards too, which really could be good or bad.
Yeah.
It could be like,
like sacrifice one player to the volcano and then get 5 food and 5 water.
Or it could be like, resources washed ashore, like you gain food and water.
Yeah. So it's unique.
It's like a cooperative survivor game.
It's fantastic because the less people there are, the less resources you need. So
I think it's too easy when you only have 3 people, which I believe is the minimum for this game.
No,
it plays.
You definitely need
way better with more people.
Yeah. The more people, the more chaotic it gets. You might be sitting around a while to take your turn because there's not really anything to do.
But everyone's invested because you're all collectively trying to get off the island. You're building rafts, collecting wood, like...
The bullets
and then you're
get
like,
crazy.
Whoa, why did you go into the shipwreck? Our food is critically low. You needed to be fishing.
When someone brandishes a gun in this game...
there's a gun.
It just pulls it out.
But only if you find the bullet.
Well, yeah, and then, alliances get formed because, I'll give you a bullet if you, shoot this person or, don't shoot me. And then they shoot that person, and that person's got, a food tray, so it deflects to the player next to them.
Oh, man.
It gets real fast.
Yeah, but this game is fantastic. It's one of our favorite party games. I don't hear a lot of people talking about it, and I don't know why, because it plays up to 12, and there's not that many games that play great at 12. This game plays great at 12.
Hellapagos.
Yep, Hellapagos.
Enough said. Go check it out.
All right, next on our list is Parks, published by Keymaster Games. Parks is another one of my favorite games of all time. I love Parks. The reason why it's on our summer games list is because in the summer we like to visit national parks. Typically we go on a vacation and we try to see a new national park. This year it's technically in the fall, but we are... Oh yeah, it is before summer ends.
It's the last week of summer.
We are going to Rocky Mountain National Park. So that's this trip for this year. But yeah, it is all about collecting resources, visiting national parks, acquiring gear. It's a resource management.
Is it? Oh, yeah.
Resource management and... what is that term?
Worker placement?
Worker placement.
Worker placement, yeah.
Let me do that again. It's a resource management worker placement game where in order to visit national parks, you have to have the right resources in order to visit them. So you have to have 4 suns and 2 trees. But yeah, it's a super fun game. The artwork on it is amazing. If you already own Parks and you love it, I highly recommend getting stickers for it.
Doesn't this game have expansions?
It does have expansions. We have both. We have the Nightfall expansion, which adds a camping element.
Oh, that sounds cool.
And we just got the recent expansion for it called Parks Wildlife, which just came out. I have not played with that one yet, but that is out if you're interested. So Nightfall and Wildlife are the 2 expansions for Parks. And I cannot recommend this game enough. It is fantastic.
Yeah, the artwork is very beautiful.
Yes.
It's nice to look at.
And it's a good game to play, even with, intro gamers. But again, there is enough strategy there, I think, for advanced gamers as well. Especially when you start adding in the expansions, which kind of mix things up a little bit.
Oh, and the trays are nice in there,
Oh
too.
yeah, oh, the like whole insert of this game is awesome. Like, everything fits so well. It comes with like a little tree trunk that all of the little resources go in.
Is it a tree trunk?
It's a tree trunk.
I didn't even realize. I'm just like, this is like, it's a unique shape.
Tree trunk that has all like holders for all of the little pieces.
Yeah.
Nice wooden pieces, which are fantastic.
I can't believe I didn't notice that before.
Yeah. You have little wooden hikers, which is really fun. But yeah, can't say enough about Parks. It's one of my favorite games. I love it.
Kites. Floodgate Games. Kites is a 2 to 6 player cooperative real-time game where players are going through a deck of cards, and each card corresponds to one of the 6 sand timers, and each sand timer represents a kite flying in the air. When you play down a card, you flip that sand timer, or it might be a dual colored card, in which case you flip both sand timers. You're just going one card at a time. Each player's placing one down, flipping those timers, and trying to keep the time from running out. Meanwhile, there's some events that are happening, like a thunderstorm, which has all your timers, your kites get flipped over, a plane flies over to where no one can hear each other, I believe, and then there's a third thing. Your
kites get tangled.
Yeah, you gotta swap cards with players.
Yeah.
So, it's a very fast-paced game, definitely like a summer-themed game, because when else can you fly kites?
Right.
I enjoyed this game. For real-time games, like, it's so good. I really like it.
This game also just came out. It is available to purchase on Floodgate Games website. It might be available elsewhere.
Did we buy it straight from them?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think pre-ordered it. But yeah, this is one of the games I was like looking forward to seeing in Origins, but fortunately it wasn't there.
Yeah.
But yeah, this game is really, really fun. Super thematic summer game. It really feels like you are flying kites trying to like turn over the sand timers. Sometimes all you have is like a card for that color that you really don't want to flip, and you're like, I'm sorry guys, I have to flip it. Yeah. And then you just hope somebody else can flip it.
All the timers are different seconds, so that red one, you got to be careful, because I think that's like 25 or something like that.
25 or 30 seconds, something like that. I think the purple one is like 90 seconds.
That one's long. You don't got to worry about that.
So they're all like different seconds, like different times.
The white one's wild, to where it's like as long as you have a single color, you can flip white. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it's really fun. We've played it at 2 and at 3, but I can only imagine playing it at 6 players would just be even more chaotic. So we're very excited to play it at that player count. But yeah, that is Kites. Time to Fly.
Go check it out.
The last one on my list is Trails, also published by Keymaster Games. So Trails, I like to call it the little sister to Parks.
It's by the same people, right?
Yeah, Keymaster. So it is a completely separate game than Parks. You are not visiting national parks in this one. You are just hiking. Another reason why it's on this list is because we love to hike. We love to go to our local parks in the summer. I like to walk with my mom, and we like to do lots of hikes locally. So Trails is a great one. It's also a worker placement resource management game. The resources in this game are super cute. They're acorns, leaves, and pebbles. I got the upgraded components for it. So if you have this game and you like it, they do make upgraded components where instead of cubes, they're actually little wooden stone leaves and acorns.
That's cool. That's
way
nice.
Cooler than like just little cubes. But Mitch actually has not played this one. I've played this one with my parents a bunch.
This one had to go on the list though. It looked really nice.
This is a great game to take camping because it's super small. It's very thematic for camping. Yeah, and I really enjoy Trails. So if you haven't noticed yet, Keymaster Games is one of my favorite publishers. And I love Parks and I love Trails, mostly because of the artwork, and they're all about nature and being outside. So yeah, that is Trails.
Last but not least, the super flicking game Crash Octopus by Itten Games. Now this is a game from a Japanese publisher, so a lot of this is in Japanese. The instructions are in Japanese. We had to download the English manual.
So this game was available on Kickstarter, which I believe you could get the English copy.
Don't quote us on it. Could you?
You could get the English
Oh,
copy.
damn.
The only reason our instructions came in Japanese is because this game is pretty hard to find now, because they fulfilled their Kickstarter, I think, either earlier this year or the end of last year. So I think it's just kind of in a lull before they do like another reprint.
Mm-hmm.
I just bought this on a retailer's website online. And if you just go to the publisher's website, you can just print out the English instructions. That's what we did, and they just have them folded up in here.
But in Crash Octopus, players have their own ship, and this giant octopus has come out of the ocean, and the ocean's represented with like just a blue rope, which I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's not a uniform board. It's gonna kind of just be a little wavy, and there is treasure that has fallen all along the ocean, and you have to use your little flags and flick the treasure or the components into your ship, and then it gets into even more dexterity, because when it hits your ship, you stack it on there, and then the octopus tracker moves up one for each piece that's collected. Once that moves past the black bead on there, you drop the die onto the octopus head, and wherever that thing lands, either moves the octopus head, moves the tentacle, or if you can strategically bounce it off the octopus head, you can have an octopus attack, which means you hit their ship and potentially knocked over their treasure.
Right, that's kind of the goal, is you want to try to aim it so that it knocks off treasure from other people's boats.
It gets super competitive to where it's like sometimes players will get up and walk around the board to where they have a good flick.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if in the rules, like, you're allowed to walk around, but we do.
No, you can.
Well, I mean, some of them are like you have to stay on your side.
Right.
Like, I think Crokinole, you have to stay like on your side for flicking.
Yeah.
But
Another really cool thing about this game is there's no cards, so you don't really need, like, nothing, just because it's a Japanese game.
Yeah.
Like, there's no words written anywhere. Once you know how to play, you know how to play.
Yeah.
All the pieces are there.
You just can't flick the closest thing to your ship, and you can't flick something you already have.
Right, exactly. But it's super fun. Everyone we've played this with, it's just a silly, fun time. Usually it comes down to the last thing. So when somebody has a lot of treasure, everybody's trying to go for them to, like,
Everyone's
knock
throwing
the
that
treasure
die
off.
at them.
But yeah, you can also flick your anchor to move your boat around. Yeah, it's very silly, very, very fun game. A really good dexterity game too.
I really enjoy this game. I think it's fantastic.
So this game, you can find it online. Again, like I said, it's probably the Japanese version, but you can easily print out the English instructions right from the publisher's website, which is what I did. I just folded them up and put them in here. And it's pretty simple game once you know how to play. You don't really need to refer to the directions very often.
Heck, you probably know how to play just from us talking about it. Like, each player flicks once. That's it.
But yeah, super thematic for summer, because you are just in a boat in the ocean trying to collect treasure and avoid getting attacked by the octopus.
Plus, I really enjoy dexterity games.
Yeah.
Like, that's finding that out. Dexterity, deck building. I like those kind of things. But yeah, the colors are really nice too on the box.
Yeah, colors are great.
All right.
Okay, so those were our top 10 summer-themed board games. Let us know down in the comments below what some of your favorite summer-themed games are. If you've played any of the ones that we've mentioned here. I know we asked earlier what your favorite Reiner Knizia games are, because we've heard he's a really good publisher.
Designer.
We only have the one, but we did enjoy Longboard.
So be sure to click the bell to get notified when we release videos every Sunday. Subscribe, because it really helps the channel, and be sure to click that thumbs up, because it helps the video overall, helps people see it, helps us out a lot. But my name's Mitch.
And I'm Morgan. Thank you so much for watching.
All right, bye.
Bye. Okay, so those were our...
Sorry.
Okay, next on... Sorry.
Okay. I'm going to pull all of mine out like this. Like.
Okay, and designed by Uwe Rosenberg. You are a little sad that summer's almost over, so we thought it would be fun to talk about our...
Sad.
No?
No, because it's hot as hell in work right now. I'm sweating off. I can't wait for it to get cold.
Don't say that. We like it that it's nice outside.
No, I got you.
Ready?
Yeah. No, I mean, we can just start right now. It doesn't matter. Anything after our intro is just loosely formatted.
Gotcha. So if you're like us, you're a little bummed that summer is coming to an end. Oh, God, Mitch.
I'm not allowed to scratch my nose while you talk? I think I've been on a hot streak. I've been on a winning streak. The tables have turned, Morgan.
I don't know.
You've been dethroned.
Have they?
We'll have to backtrack it.
We will have to backtrack.
It's been a while since I felt sad. Last but not least, the super flicking game, Crack Up.
Crack up.
Crack Up.